What's going on? It's your boy Granddaddy D coming at you with a fresh PUBG gameplay. I didn't really know where I wanted to go at the start of this one, so I made a game time decision and jumped out. Cruised on over to this nice little spot over here. I see a couple other parachutes open up, but I'm not really too worried about it. There only seems like there's a couple, so I try and float my ass away from them. I am going to have the start of this gameplay sped up just a little bit because the end of the gameplay is really where most of the action takes place. At the start, I go through the motions of looting this building, but there's not too much that goes on. There's a little bit of action, kind of early on, just a tiny bit, but I mean, other than that, it's pretty slow. Right, so at this point, I'm clearing this house, I'm going through the motions, making sure I can get every piece of loot that I can before I have to go out and fight some people. I didn't really see too many other people drop near me, so I wasn't really concerned, wasn't expecting company at this point, so I felt pretty secure. I disregarded those shots off in the distance because they seemed pretty far away and not of any threat to me. And I'm going through the house, and all of a sudden I hear footsteps right outside, and I knew he was going to come into my building because I hear him coming up the stairs. And boom, there he is, missed the first shot, and then I leg him. So he must have been damaged and not had anything, but it looked like he had stuff. He had a first aid kit, but I legged him and killed him. But he had a fully stacked M4. Like, I took all his attachments. It was great. He had a nice vest, nice first aid kits and stuff. He had a level 3 helmet. So killing this guy really set me up for the rest of the game. It was great. It was a great circumstance. I probably wouldn't have ended up lasting as long as I did if I hadn't managed to pick him off in the house right there. So I finished looting this guy. What was nice is that there wasn't anybody around me, so I could just take my time and loot him, make sure I got everything that I wanted off him. If somebody tried to run up from behind or into the building, I would have heard him. After that, I just, go about my business, continue looting the building as usual. At this point, I'm looking for a sniper rifle or just something, to put me ahead in the late game. Really just something to possibly replace my shotgun at this point. So at this point, I'm done looting the building, I'm checking the circle, I'm liking where I'm at, I'm deciding, maybe I should post up in this building for a little while. So I actually run downstairs and shut the front door, just so nobody can, walk through the front door without me hearing them open it, just as a little, bonus protection. And, I'm contemplating camping here because I like this building. It's a good spot. I can hear people coming all around me. It's pretty safe. Nobody else really dropped around me, so I'm not expecting people, but just in case they do decide to show up, I obviously have the upper hand at this point. So as I'm about to head out, I check the sky and make sure I didn't miss anything. But, you know, as I'm leaving, I decide that it's probably a good idea to post up. So I do end up camping here for quite a while, but I will fast forward it so you guys don't have to sit through me, you know, waiting here patiently for somebody to walk through. So I start to hear stuff going on around me, but I know I'm relatively safe in my building. I've got a good setup, and I'm not really too worried about it, so I just decide to stay here for a little bit longer. So at this point, I'm hearing these shots around me, and I know that there's people in the vicinity, and I really want to take it slow because I want to try and win, obviously. So I'm being super cautious as I leave this building because I don't know where the shots are around me. They could be from a building that's, you know, looking down at the street that I'm about to go towards, or they could be way off to the right. It could be somebody with a nice scope just taking shots, but it sounds like they're pretty close. So I'm playing it super cautious just in case somebody happens to walk through the door. I'm checking it, I'm just watching it. But eventually I do decide to take my ass outside. But since I hear these shots coming from outside that door, I actually decide to go out the door on the opposite side of the building just to continue playing it super safe. So I know that there's people in the general area and I want to try to stay safe. So I'm, you know, staying in cover, looking around me, trying to see if I could get the upper hand on anybody. I don't really like these buildings on either side of me because there could easily be people posted up like I was, just looking to get an easy pick. But, you know, I do decide to cross the street after checking both ways. Make sure you check both ways before you cross the street, kids. Very important. So I have to run up past these buildings, but the airplane above is giving me some noise reduction. So if anybody's in these houses, maybe they didn't pick up on me running right by them. Luckily, there wasn't anybody in those buildings, but I do hear shots coming in the distance. And at this point, I know that the final circle is going to be up on that big hill, which sucks because there could easily be people posted up, and then I have to run uphill towards them, which is obviously not a good thing. On the bright side, though, there will be other people doing exactly what I'm doing, so I'm hoping that if I can get up there at a reasonable pace, that maybe I could turn around and pick some people off, or maybe even catch them as they're going up in front of me, slowly on that hill. So right here, I figure I'm in the circle, I might as well play it a little bit safe and just check my surroundings, see if I can catch anybody coming up from outside the circle. I'm checking all the surroundings of the building, really continuing to play it super safe. At this point, I know the circle is slowly approaching me, so I'm contemplating whether or not I should continue to stick it out here or just, you know, try to get an early advantage on the center of the circle. And now I'm hearing these shots, and they're definitely coming from my left side, but I don't know who they're shooting at. That's the thing. The person they're shooting at could be very close to me. They could be up on the hill. I really have no idea because I can't see anybody. I decide to play it safe and stick it out here just a little bit longer, catch some stragglers if they do manage to show up running from outside the circle. I'm really loving the 4X on the M4 that I picked up from this guy. Like, it really, really helped me in this gameplay, I'm not gonna lie. I definitely would not have been able to play it as safe as I did. And now I'm checking the circle and I'm seeing that I'm really far out of it. Like, I got the worst possible circle that I could have had at this moment. So there's nothing left for me to do besides book it and just hope that there's nobody coming up from behind me to screw me over, and maybe I can get some picks on my way up, find some stragglers, work my way out of this town. So right here, I decided it's a good idea to get some cover and maybe look behind me so I could maybe pick off a straggler or two if I see one, and I do actually find one. So I lay prone, play it as safe as I can. He's shooting at somebody else up at that house, so I take advantage of this and, get the easy kill on him. I miss a couple shots, which is like really sad because he's pretty much standing still the whole time. And then the guy that was shooting at him decides, oh, I got the kill, or somebody else killed him. He died. Point is, he comes over to loot him, and he's standing still. I get the easy headshot, and then just go about my merry way. Since I was opening fire on these guys, I decided it's probably a good idea to just, turn around, check my surroundings, see if anybody decided to come out of the house, maybe run up on me. But I'm also checking the clock at this point, and I see that I have about 30 seconds to get up this rather steep hill, and I know it's going to take me a while to run up this hill on foot. As I start to move away from cover, I see this guy running up the hill to my right, but I decide it's probably not the best idea to take shots on him because it could give away my position to other people behind me, to him, and also slow me down. At this point, I really don't have a lot of time to get up this hill. So I come up to this tree and I decide it's probably a good idea to take one last check behind me to make sure there's not one really late straggler coming up from the circle. And then I really don't have time. The circle's closing at this point, and I gotta find a somewhat direct way to get up this hill. I'm also very wary of the other guy I'd seen to my right at this point, because he could easily just be posted up inside the circle and turn around and do the same thing I was doing. As I'm slowly making my way up this hill, I continue to look around for the guy who I had seen on my right, but now I realize that this circle is closing in, and now I'm outside the circle, so I stop, take an energy drink, and try to get up to the circle as fast as I can without taking any shots. And of course, as I'm thinking this, the guy on my right who I'd seen before starts opening fire on my ass. He hits me a couple times, and I'm really banged up, and I'm still outside the circle, so I have nothing else to do but hide behind this tree and use my first aid and hope that I make it in time. So I do manage to make it, but it's by the skin of my teeth. And now I just gotta keep booking it up this hill and hope that he doesn't open fire on me from behind. As soon as I get into the safe circle, I look for a nice place to hide so I can bandage up. And as I'm sitting down and looking at these 35 bandages I have to use, the thought goes through my mind of maybe they should implement something where if you have enough bandages, you can like turn it into a first aid kit or something. Because that would have been so nice instead of having to sit there and bandage and be scared out of my mind. Once I'm all nice and healed up, I decide it's time to get moving. And I hear these shots off in the distance and I see somebody drop, and now I've made it to the top 10. At this point, I'm still super nervous because I know the guy's behind me, so he could pull up on me at any point, and I don't really know where anybody else is in this really small circle until I spot this guy over at the tree. He doesn't see me, so I try to wait until he stops moving so I could get my best shots off on him. right now, I really don't know where anybody is. I'm looking for a nice place to hide, and then all of a sudden somebody starts popping off at me. I have no idea where they're at, and then I turn around, and lo and behold, he's right there on the top of the hill. I don't know how he didn't fucking die off of that, but that's alright. I try to throw a frag up at him, but it does not make it up there at all. At all. Not even fucking close. So he hears my frag go off, and decides it's a good idea to throw one back at me. And now that we're all in this tiny little circle, there's starting to be more and more shots going off from every direction. So at this point, I'm trying to distance myself from those two people that I know are for sure behind me, but also try to get to a safe spot so I could maybe pick off the people in front of me. I'm running up to this little ledge, and then I hear these shots that are really close to me, and I look, and I see this firefight going on, and I don't really know what to do about it. So I just try to sit tight and wait for my opportunity. From here on out, I'm going to be silent and let you guys enjoy these last few minutes of the gameplay. And there you have it, a nice delicious chicken dinner. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next video. I really enjoyed making this one, so if you guys want to see more content like this, make sure to like and subscribe and let me know in the comments below. Catch you guys later.